All right. Welcome, ladies, to this Dream Board Queen event. And I am really excited to support you in this training today because I want to help you in attracting your ideal partner, your ideal man in relationship in 2019. And the reason why I wanted to create this training was actually for a deeper reason. And the deeper reason has to do with power. A woman has to own her power to consciously and powerfully attract the love that she wants. And the reason for this is, I addressed this in this email, but I wanted to go into greater detail about this today, is that there's just so much at stake. You know, your time, your energy, there's just so much at stake. And I noticed that whenever, as a woman or as a, human being in general, whenever you fall into this energy of waiting, like, let me wait to see what happens. Like, maybe it's going to work out for me. Maybe it's kind of like an energy drain. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't feel in your power. And nobody operates that way in any other area of their life. And it's like, I feel like it's part of my job to break or like stop that myth that when it comes to love, it just happens. Yes, you see it in movies and, where this woman just like randomly met this guy and she fell in love, etc. And the thing is, you will meet your man. Probably chances are that you will meet him that way. That's totally fine. The inner job, the inner work that needs to be in place for you to be in alignment, not just with any sort of guy, but with the man that is right for you, is your job. Is your job. Because I am working on actually in transparency and finding the best ways how to actually explain this, because I've personally had it with it. Why? Because I see so many women suffer in silence, and there's a lot of unconsciousness when it comes to the area of love. And what do I mean unconsciousness? The same that I mean with, when it comes to work, when it comes to your career, or when it comes to your health, people are very proactive. And I want to be able to inspire women to be proactive and to take full responsibility in their lives. And if you're here and if you're part of my community, I know that you're very proactive. And the thing is that for certain, it's important to not just be proactive, going on online dates or just going out and smiling at men. All of that is great. It's also important to do the inner work, to be in alignment. And that is, for me, the most important work. I believe there is this, 80-20% rule, right? Let that 80% be your inner work, and then the actions that you take on on the outside will actually give you greater results. How many of you feel like when you're dating, like you have it all together, right? Like you're rocking it in your career, in your business, in your health. And then in your love life, like you're scratching your head, like you're confused. It's like, why isn't love working for me? Why am I meeting men that are not in alignment with me? Why am I meeting men that only want to hook up? Why am I meeting men that are sort of intimidated by my success? Why am I meeting men that are kind of boring to me? Like they're lacking inspiration, they're lacking passion, and it feels like I'm talking to a wall. Like, why is that? I'm gorgeous, I'm beautiful, like my life is on track. I'm creating all these amazing things. I have great friends, great family, and something is escaping me. I'm going out, I'm meeting men, it's not working. Or maybe I'm doing all that I know to go out. I'm downloading all these apps and it's not working. Why is that? Why is that? And the reason why I created this training is exactly with this, because when you start to ask yourself that question of why is that, you can go many different routes, and a lot of them are ego-based. Sad but true. And that's what I wanted to address, because if you're having conversations of like, it's just the men out there, I cannot do anything about that, Nicole. Like, it's the men. it's the men in my city, like they're just want to hook up, or they're emotionally hurt. Hi. Like they're emotionally hurt. And for those of you who don't want to do video for the moment, I totally get it. I believe if that's you, love, like you just need to remove the camera. You will see a camera button and you need to press it so that you can remove it. Okay. So the thing is that, awesome. Yes, you were able to remove it. So the reason why I created this is because it's important for you to know the following. If you start saying to yourself like, hey, it's just like the men in my city, it's just the men in my country, or men like are hurt, or they're coming at me with all these resentments that are not even towards me. If you're going there, and then your choice and your decision is to, maybe I should put up dating for a while because the men in my city are this way, or the dating apps are showing up this way, or men in dating apps only want sex, or they want this, or they want the other. If that's, if that's where your mind is leading you to, and it's ego, and you have to understand that the ego's motto is to survive. It's fear-based in many ways. So your ego, your mind, is not designed to help you thrive unless you are the one that's, commanding it, that's in charge. If you're having that conversation, you're letting your mind lead you somewhere else. And guess what? You're missing out on time, which is your precious time. I've worked with women who, they want to have kids, etc. And then they start to take action, right around the time where they might be questioning, like, is this possible? So that's why I wanted to create this training for you, so that you could actually, so that you can actually, let me ask you this, ladies. Can you see me as the, like on the main screen as the person that's speaking, right now, or are you only seeing like a small screen, like my face in a small screen? Let me know, please. Can somebody unmute like yourself and let me know? I think you mainly see me, right? Do you mainly see me like on the screen, or are you seeing like a gray screen? Okie dokie, perfect, thank you. So my main desire right now is to help you, to support you, because time is of essence, it's my belief. And what has served me in my love life has been to take personal responsibility. Why? Because I've seen how the ego can lie to somebody, and especially when it comes to areas of love, because that's the area where you feel like you could get hurt, right? Like if you open up, you can get hurt. So none of that is true. You don't want to believe your ego. You don't want to believe your ego that tells you, I have to protect myself, I have to do all these different things, in a way where it's actually pushing love away for you. Does that make sense? Because in that space, you're missing out on opportunity. And I want to help you have opportunity this year. You want to be very mindful of how your mind will lie to you. And then you want to be able to take charge. You want to be in your power to attract your ideal love and relationship this year. And I'm going to address certain things today that are going to be really helpful for you in regards to creating an amazing dream board, and how to actually own your power, and how to create a dream board that actually magnetizes, that brings to you, attracts what you're looking for, rather than sort of wishful thinking. I mean, how many of you have actually created a dream board and then you're like, nah, you know, like meh after it, like after a couple weeks from it. Has that happened to you? Or you don't even remember it? Or you kind of look at it like with sort of like wishful thinking, like, I hope this happens. Let me know, please. What's been your story so far creating dream boards?
I created a dream board, and for the first time, I think a week ago, but I did it from like images. And at first I was like, oh my God. And that was after seeing some of the videos. And I'm like, dude, I've never done that, because I was always thought it was like, not necessary. I actually have it with me just in case I need to add stuff. But I only have one picture of myself, because I don't have pictures of me when I was young, because they're in storage, so I couldn't locate that. So I was discouraged in the past, but now I feel encouraged, and I do get a happy feeling when I do see them. When I, and I got like, I want to be pregnant. So I put a pregnant lady with her belly showing and a baby and the husband, and I just feel like, oh, it's warm and fuzzy to see that,
That's
and I think in the past I never had those feelings. Yeah.
That's a beauty of a dream board. Like when it really connects you, then you actually open up. So thank you so much for sharing that, Carmen.
You're welcome.
Would anybody else like to share their experience with dream boards? All right. So if you don't want to share your experience with dream boards, we will continue. So here's what you want to know about me and my journey before we start when it comes to creating dream boards. I remember that I used to have major resistance in regards to creating dream boards. And whenever I would create it, I would meet up with like a bunch of people. We would have all these magazines. Like we would like kind of like, grab the images that were available, or some of us were like fighting for certain images, etc. And then we would all add them to our dream boards. But what would happen for me is that I would disconnect from my dream board really quickly. I wouldn't pay attention to it because I had a lot of things going on. And I wasn't really connected. So one of the reasons why I shared with you that I recommended that you either brought, the board in and of itself, or you created your dream board with an application on your computer, Word or Pages from Mac, was because for me, like dream boards actually started to connect more when I started to create them over the Pages app. Why is that? Because I felt like I had more power. I had more choosing power. I could find images on Google. I could tweet them. I could crop them. I could find the exact words that really connected me, and I could just add them rather than looking at what was available in a magazine for me. It made all of the difference. So it helped me really express or bring out certain creativity within me that it really connected me powerfully. So dream boards are really powerful because I believe that as women, we've been, how do I say this? I don't know, not as women but like, I'm going to start with this, like as a society whole, we've created this culture about love, like it just happens, or an energy of like waiting. But the more you can actually take personal responsibility and be like, all right, like I get to know myself fully. I get to know what type of man, I'm turned on by, like I find incredibly attractive, is the right fit for me. And I get to know myself really, really well. And I get to know what I'm actually compatible with. Then I can own my power in attracting that to my life. Because there's a lot of a lot of an energy of wait and see kind of thing that for me only creates a lot of confusion, and in many cases a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and a lack of ownership or knowing of your true worth and your value and the value of another person. So we've all heard about law of attraction. And for those of you who haven't, it basically says like what you think about the most or what you feel into the most is what you attract. And it's true. It is really true. We create based on our thoughts and on our like energy and our feelings. So if you are, creating a dream board in regards to attracting your ideal man into your life, and you have a lot of fear, and then you look at the dream board and you're like, well, I don't know if this is going to happen kind of thing. Or you look at a dream board and it's just pictures of somebody that you don't even know. And it's not connecting you, then it's not magnetizing enough, right? And because it's not magnetizing enough, what happens is that it doesn't add fuel to your manifestation and to bringing that to you. Dream boards are great because they help you ground. They help you take what's up here and what's in here and what you're desiring, and you start putting it into physical form. You can see them as a form of like alchemy or however you want to see it, but it's like you want to look at it as your creation. Right? If you are creating this amazing recipe for your whole family or for a loved one, you're like, ooh, like this is my recipe. I want to create something really magical. You can do that with a dream board. You want to first create a dream board with that intention of creating your life. So you're thinking consciously about everything you want to see in it. So what it does is that it will, when you look at it with that energy, it's so much more than just wishful thinking, or it's so much more than, let me try this new thing and let's see what happens. That energy of let's see what happens can be positive because you could just feel into a desire and then let it go, right? If you let it go from a place of power, then we're good. But if you're let it go and you're in an energy of let me see what happens, and then you slip into an energy of like, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if I deserve this. I mean, like, what are the chances? What are the odds? Then it doesn't happen. Or if it does happen for any sort of reason, then you're like, oh, I received this, but you're not fully owning your power in your creation, so you can lose it because you want to be able to own your power so that you can keep things in your life. Is this making sense? Like you want to be able to say, I created this.
Yes.
Yes.
I had a question. Mm-hmm. So I know that there is this like lean back, but when you're doing the vision board and you're thinking about it, is that leaning forward because you're thinking about, oh, I want marriage, I want babies, I want this, I want that, and you're indicating like look at it and see it. Okay, so it's not leaning. Okay, so I can I can look at it like throughout the day and it's not leaning forward. It's leaning back and it's good energy, feminine energy.
Yeah. Yes. I'll explain to you why more later on. That's a very valuable question. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, hi, Nicole. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. Sorry, I couldn't speak earlier. I was just basically, I'm going to say that I created a dream board with pictures, not on my computer, which I think your way is obviously much better than what I was doing, but I put it in a frame, and I did it also for my kids about, like, for example, what colleges they wanted to go to and things like that. And then for me, I created it like, kind of more about like where I wanted to live and like, a vision for my business. And then, obviously my family and love and things like that. And like just more spiritual messages about who I wanted to become. So it was more like, it was also very love conscious based. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I haven't achieved all of those yet, but I think that, I'm on my way. So I feel like good about it, but I feel like it's probably not that actionable. Like you were saying, like, you could have something maybe, but maybe you have to put more things that are more, do I have to put things more that are leading up to that?
Yeah, yeah. I'll share with you I'll share with you key steps right now in regards to what I recommend for dream boards. But it's so nice because when you can connect with things and you're put it in a physical surface, like it actually adds weight to it. Like it helps you manifest it even quicker. So when you put it in a frame, you know, I have pictures, I have photoshopped images of me that I put on a frame and that I manifested, you know? So those are certain things, like, it's like if you make it physical, like, hey, this belongs here, then you attract it more. Like, so I'm going to be sharing more of that. So thank you so much for sharing. I'll share that.
But for example,
right
like in Carmen's situation where she's saying, like, you know, she wanted children or marriage and things like that, and she doesn't know who that person is or who those kids look like yet. How does she put that in a dream board?
if she doesn't know what exactly, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, if she doesn't know exactly who the person is that she's marrying yet, or the children, what they're going to look like, how does she make sure that she magnetically connects to that? But you know what I mean? But it's like pictures of what exactly? Is she going to just put a stranger there, or?
Yeah, I'm going to share all of that. No worries. I'm going
Okay,
to share all of that. Yes, that's a great. These are great questions, and I love them. So, ladies, basically, let me give you an outline of what we'll be doing today. With this training, what I am teaching you and I'm sharing with you is how to create a dream board that magnetizes things to you from a place of being in your power. That's why I call it dream board queen, right? Like you're not just testing things out, like you're owning it and you're standing up for your love vision. So today I'm going to share with you what are the key elements that I recommend. For those of you who don't know me as a love transformational love coach, is that I'm all about the energy and I'm all about the embodiment, you know, of that femininity, of that trust, you know, of that spirituality that really helps you magnetize things to you in your life. So from that space, yes, I do teach on flirting and I teach a lot on feminine communication. And I really stay a lot of time on the energy of things because there can be a lot of confusion if you're just following like a word by word kind of thing. Like you want to actually own your power. Why? Because feminine energy is all about being in ownership of who you really are, of how lovable you are, how magnetic you are. Like it's your right to receive just because of who you are. Feminine energy is all about receiving, and she doesn't receive, she receives a lot easier, I want to clarify, from a feminine space. Yes, a woman can, tire herself out trying to be masculine and attract things, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can attract in a feminine way. And I see some confusion in regards to feminine energy that I would like to address today in regards to leaning back in how you can actually attract from a really feminine space. Feminine space is not a dormant, it's not a dormant energy. You're not in a waiting space. You're not waiting, actually. You're owning your worth and your value, and you lean back. You kind of let go because you trust that you're worthy. You trust that you're the prize, right? And you're connected with that truth. And from that space, you're letting things come to you, not from a place of waiting for an external validation. So I will, and that reflects in what I'm going to teach to you today in regards to the dream board. So let's talk about dream boards. Like, how many of you have a board right now, or how many of you are actually have like a Word app or a Pages app open to start doing your dream boards today? Like, I would love to know. Can you just let me know in the chat box? That would be great. So basically what you want to understand about as a feminine woman and about who you are is that you're magnetic by your very essence. And you don't have to basically to believe that the feminine, it's just, an energy that like leans back yes, you do lean back, but it's the energy behind of why you lean back. It's about receptivity. Okay. And the feminine feels a lot, whatever feels yummy, whatever feels delicious, whatever feels loving, whatever feels nurturing. These are all feminine qualities, right? Like whatever feels that way for you actually makes you open up. And the moment that you're open is the moment that you start to attract and you start to set things in motion. Okay. So that is where you are letting the masculine, in this case, you can look at the universe as the masculine, to support you in attracting what you want into your life. Does that make sense? So if you take on that role of being the feminine and being who you really are, your area of your greatest magnetism, then what happens when you look at something that makes you feel yummy, something that makes you feel alive, something that makes you feel nurtured, something that makes you feel protected, cared for, you open and you set energy in motion for things to come to you in your life, rather than, and because it makes you feel safe, like you don't connect with something that it's yummy but doesn't make you feel safe, kind of thing. Like if you're feeling that it's yummy, if you're feeling nurtured, you're feeling safe in the moment. So therefore, you trust the universe. You trust that the masculine side of the universe will bring everything to you. And all that the masculine was waiting was for you to feel so connected, so in your power, open and ready and trusting to start operating and bringing things into your way. So the dream board, and what you're looking for is you're looking for to create a dream board that that connects you. And because it connects you, what it does is that it opens you up, right? You're seeking to open whenever you look at your dream board. That's why it's so important that if you don't love a picture that you're going to put on your dream board, don't put it. This is the first tip that I recommend. And you can write these down. If you don't love it, don't add it to your dream board. Don't. Because whatever disconnects you, whatever makes you go like, or like, I don't know how that's going to happen, or whatever makes you go up in your head and it makes you question things about it, don't add it. I really invite you not to add it, because if it disconnects you, you're going to stop looking at it eventually, right? Because you might not want to face it, or you might doubt it. It's not your sweet spot. Okay, so you're first looking for things that really connect you, that make you feel like you come alive, and then you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you look at it and you're like, yes, I want some of that kind of thing. You might notice that I'm using a lot of connotations that could be like, oh, like yummy, delicious, and then it turns you on. Wasn't expecting to do that, but I'm noticing it. So I'm just, this is a live training. And why I'm connecting with this energy? Because it opens you up. And sexual energy is a life force. So it's magnetic by its essence. You start to attract because you are connecting with that space. A lot of energy is moving in your body, right? And you're connecting with strong sensations that make you open, that make you willing, that make you available. Okay? This is very different from a masculine energy where you feel like you have to like conquer the world and you have to like text a guy to ensure that something happens. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about first, you want to seek to connect. So you want to be very intentional, and that's the second tip that I have for you, in what you put in your dream board. Words that connect, words of power, words that make you go like, ooh, yes, I want that. Right? Like not just wishful thinking words. You want to go deep with your dream board because you're creating a work of art. It's like I said, a recipe. You can see, I was going to use and it something with my tongue today, like my throat, like I've been having trouble with words today. I don't know why. But the thing is, I was gonna say, like, you can be like, kind of like a scientist, right? But you can really look at it like your work of art. Like, I want a little bit of this, and I want a little bit of that, and I want to be very intentional. It depends on the person. Carmen was sharing that she created, she recently created a dream board where, awesome, like where she was thinking into. She put a picture of her, pregnant woman, kids, and everything, and she feels like it's very nurturing, and it feels like fun and nice for her. That's awesome. If it connects you that way, Carmen, that is awesome. Can you add a picture of yourself? Can you Photoshop yourself as a pregnant woman? You can do that. I've done that. I haven't done that for all of my images, but for the ones that I'm like very super intentional, you can totally do that. Okay. It depends on the person, because some people might look at the picture and they can be like, yeah, I want that. That is me. Others, because, everybody's brain is different, it could be like, that doesn't feel like me. Right. And if you find resistance within that, then like I said, if you find resistance, don't do it. Right. Or you can be very creative. I've done with certain images that certain images where when I wanted to lose weight, that what I did was, I found this picture online of a girl working out. I made sure that it was my same skin color. And I just like really, really, really shrinked it, like made it really small. This is why I preferred to do it over the Pages app, because it's very intelligent. So I put it like really, really small. And then I wrote the words that I wanted to have on top of it. I basically didn't let her head be shown. And then I had a picture of me on top with many other different things. So what I did was that I didn't make it that big to create resistance. I made sure that I had pictures of me around it, the keywords that I wanted, other pictures of me working out like in the past, etc. And even the pictures in the past, like if my brain went there like, oh, but that's the past, made it very small, right? When it was pictures of me when I had, relaxed hair, and I didn't want the relaxed hair to show, I cut off the part of the hair. Like this is where you get to be really creative. You're seeking to reduce any form of resistance and bring in the maximum amount of joy. It depends. It really depends on the person, because I have pictures in my dream board where it's not me. But I personally tend to avoid those sort of things. Okay? If I'm going to use a picture of somebody else, I make it very small. Very small. Or in your case, Carmen, where you wanted to have a woman that is pregnant, you can have the pregnant belly, etc. Maybe it connects you. Like, I'm not you. What I'm saying is you want to find what really connects you. If you feel like in your heart you're opening up, go ahead. You are on the right track. It's whatever makes you connect, whatever makes you open up. Does that help?
Yes, I actually used pictures where I thought the woman looked similar to me, and I couldn't see her face. So that could technically be me in a way.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not too certain about that. But again,
check out on that one.
I feel like it represents me in there. Okay.
You see what I mean? Like that moment where you went into, I'm not too certain, you want to remove that. You don't necessarily want to remove the picture. Right, you can explore if you want to remove the picture, or you can put something on top of it. Like you can tweak it, you can do different things. But this is where you get to be playful. This is your creation. And what's powerful about this is that you're using your hands. We are going back to feminine energy, right? You are enjoying the process of creativity. You are literally creating something. And you're using your hands, you're using your own energy. Nothing can change that, like it comes with power. It comes with power. And what I noticed personally for me is that when I didn't, I had a year where I had a lot of resistance, where I created my dream board and I had so much resistance on printing it. And because I wasn't printing it, that was the year that it was actually the most difficult for me to create things, because I had a resistance at the back of my mind, and I didn't know what it was. And as soon as I printed it, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, right? I was like, okay, now I'm actually ready. Now I'm actually willing, and I'm not creating resistance along the way. Does that make sense? Like, we want to look at what the ego is creating and how it gets in the way. So you want to create it in the way that creates like that adds like the least amount of resistance possible.
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Awesome. So the other element that I want to really address when it comes to creating dream boards that is super essential. And I was sharing with you earlier a little bit about this one. It's being intentional. Okay. You want to I use several things when it comes to creating dream boards, and to make it a really powerful and effective dream board is that you want to be intentional and you want to understand your power of choice. And why I was saying earlier today that it is important that you're not in a waiting space when it comes to love. You're not in a trying space. You're not like, let me see if this works. You're not in a testing space. You're not like, oh, but my work doesn't let me. Oh, you're not like, oh, but this or the other. No, you're not going there. You're not going to use an excuse. You've got to make a choice that you are manifesting love. Why is that? Because your mind and your ego has a different agenda. It might think that love wasn't safe because somebody broke your heart. So even though consciously you're choosing to go out and go on dating sites, your subconscious mind was like, oh, she was hurt before, man, and she cried a lot. So we don't want to go there anymore. You know what? Let's steer her somewhere else. Let's make her think that it's the men in her city. Let's make her think the dating apps nowadays, like, men in dating apps, they only want sex. Let's make her think all these things. How many of you watched the movie? I think it's Inside Out. Have you watched it?
No.
I really recommend it because it talks about like these little like it's caricatures that are inside of your mind and your subconscious, and they're activating things for you like joy, happiness, anger. They're trying to protect you. Okay, so but if you are not in charge, then your defense mechanisms are in charge. So you want to be very intentional and understand that nothing changes in your life unless you do. So you want to be very intentional. You want to make clear choices. I'm attracting love. That is not being masculine. That is not being masculine. That is being very clear about what you want. And unless you are clear, the universe doesn't know exactly what to give to you. Unless you're clear, even when you're with your man, unless you're clear about what you want, your man wouldn't know what to give to you because you're not clear, because you're not making choices for whatever reason. It could be a fear. It could be like not trusting yourself fully or having expectations on the man to figure it out when you haven't figured it out yourself. It doesn't work that way. You need to be clear. When you are clear, you're opening up the channels for love to come in. Does that help? Like, you have to be clear, or else you're sending different signals out into the universe, but not just to the universe, towards men. And when you're sending inconsistent signals towards men, where you're not fully clear about what you want, the energy that men get sometimes from you is a woman that does, and I'm not saying that this is any of you, I'm just sharing what I know and what I've been able to help my clients with. It's that sort of energy of confusion. I want to help you really get this. That sort of energy of confusion is like, I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. kind of thing, because you haven't really fully been taught on how to be in your feminine essence in a really empowered way. What it signals to men is you being in your inner child energy. Does that surprise you? Why? It's a woman that's not fully owning, hey, I'm amazing. I am the catch. And I know a lot of women who tell me, I know I'm a catch. I am amazing. And if you are not meeting the right men, and there's the slightest of doubt within you that says, maybe I'm not going to have love, then you're not fully owning it. And that's an inner child energy that's showing up. And men can feel it or can be repelled by it. I don't think I've ever shared this in a video before. Is this resonating, or would you like me to clarify more?
It's resonating for me.
Yeah. Sorry, which video were you talking about, Nicole, again? I missed that.
The movie?
Yeah, what movie is this?
Inside Out.
Oh, is it a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Right.
amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing cartoon. But it's like, I remember watching it and being like, wow, like we have to be really in alignment and understand what's going on in the back of our brains, because if we don't get it, right, then time is running out. Time is running by. Does that help? Like, we want to be in that space.
Yeah.
So or else like our mind is just running the game for us, and we want to be conscious. We want to be aware. We want to be empowered in our love lives. And I really say this because I attract a lot of women that are already empowered, and they're like, but I'm already empowered. But Nicole, you don't get this. This is what's going on in my life. Or, I'm empowered, Nicole, and for some sort of reason, it's the men out there. It's not me. No, understand this. If you're attracting emotionally unavailable men, it's not the men. It's something within you that you are choosing that vibration. You are choosing that reality. And your mind is trying to protect you by telling you, no, it's just the men. I'm going to blame that. You know what? I'm going to take a stop. Or they're just intimidated by me. No, you have more power here. You have more power to say, I deserve better. I'm going to let myself better. This lack or scarcity that I'm seeing, I'm not okay with it. Let me explore. Let me consciously explore what are the beliefs that I have here. Let me work on them. Let me show up in a different way. Am I showing up in a masculine way? Because one of the things that I do notice from the women that are really empowered in many ways, they tend to show up in a masculine way with their partners, or with the men that they attract, and they are unconscious about this.
Are you comfortable?
So what I say here is to really inspire you. Please let me know during the training if it's resonating. This energy of not being clear about what you want brings you a little bit of everything. And what that looks like when you're dating and you're attracting men is, it might be like, oh, Nicole, like I attracted this amazing guy, and then the next minute, like, but he disappeared. Oh, Nicole, like, this is not working out for me, or I'm attracting purely emotionally unavailable men. Or you need to be clear as a woman what you stand for. Feminine energy, yes, it's about receptivity, and it's also about ownership and power. Why do I say power? I always think about how hurricanes before, they were always named after a woman, right? Because feminine energy embodies a lot of movement, like you can be very nurturing, you can be very loving, very caring, but if something messes with you, you have all the power to show to the world what are your requirements and what are your boundaries and how you deserve to be treated, nurtured, cared for, valued. The masculine loves to serve the feminine, and the miscommunication that exists is when the woman doesn't know how to clearly communicate what she needs and wants. So you want to be very clear with that. A powerful man is not looking for a woman that is not speaking her truth. Now she can speak it in a way. Now here's the thing, because I could attract women who don't speak their truth at all in fear or things that they learned in the past, or I could attract women who say that they speak their truth, but the problem is that they communicate it in a masculine way. Okay? And then it doesn't get the message across with the universe or with men, because there needs to be the dance between both sexes. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. You want to be very clear. You want to be intentional. You don't want to think yourself as masculine if you're clear of your intentions when you're creating your dream board. Your clarity will open you up. Why? Because it's going to feel even more delicious. Remember, you're seeking to look at what feels delicious to you and what feels enticing, what feels loving, what feels nurturing, what feels super safe and amazing, and whatever makes you feel super worthy. You want to connect with that, and you want to be very conscious about what you add to your dream board. Okay? From that space, you are connected. Who are you connecting to? You're connecting with the universe. You're sending out your order. You're connecting with your subconscious. And because it feels good to you, you are like really getting to your subconscious to reduce any sort of resistance and start to open up the way for you. So you want to be clear so that you can connect. Have you ever kissed someone that you felt like you didn't know what they were doing? Has that ever happened to you? Am I the only one who would like to share? I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one. The thing, what I'm sharing with you here is that I'm sure you felt pretty confused, correct?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Yeah, my question was like, have you ever been kissed by somebody that you felt like didn't know what they were doing?
Probably, yeah. I don't remember.
Right, yes. So what I'm sharing with you here is that, so Danny, you too, okay, good. So here's the thing, what you felt like really confused, and you felt like, wow, like I can't relax into this, I can't open up to this, like what's going on? And it immediately put you up here, okay? So that is what, when a woman communicates to a man what she desires, what will feel good to her, he is so inclined to give it to you. The same applies with the universe, okay? So that's why creating your dream board is not a masculine act. Thinking about something, feeling into it is not a masculine act. It's not. You want to, like, I see femininity is a way of being. It's who you are in your essence. So that is your greatest power. So owning that will really help you. And it's a matter of actually being clear. When you're clear, like everything in your body starts to align rather than feeling confused. If you are feeling confused on the inside, chances are you're attracting men that are confused as well. And then you feel disconnected because they're not showing up fully in their masculine energy, or they're not the right fit for you. But it's like, if your insides are confused, then the universe is just bringing to you what you are focusing on, or the main energy that you're sending out. Let me know, ladies, if this is helping. You want to be clear. So what I mean by clarity, and I actually like to connect with just in general, even outside of dream boards, but I like to receive messages in many different formats. I like to hear them. So I might repeat affirmations, so that I can actually hear them. But what I do in my dream board is that I actually, in that intention, in that clarity, in that choice that I'm making, hey, I get to have love, I am worthy. I first, I have a combination of different things. I have pictures, and like I already shared with you how I do the pictures, like which ones are smaller, which ones are bigger. I have pictures, I have words, right? Not only am I using words, but I'm also, because I'm doing them on a computer, I'm choosing the colors. So all of that creates a sort of sensorial experience for me, okay? Because eventually I do print them out. Like I print them out in a really glossy paper, like they were like a picture, big picture. So what that does is that it all gives me a feeling. I love the texture. I used to get kind of like, I love texture. So if a texture of something is not, you know, it's not making me feel good, then I start to disconnect with it. Okay, that's just who I am. So what happens is that if I was just like grabbing onto like different pictures, and then like the surface would start to come out, etc., it didn't feel smooth, didn't feel like a perfect finish. For me, that meant something in my creation. For you, it might mean, wow, like I like to feel like all of these different textures together. This is my piece of art. Then you get to own that. But you want to be like, and you want to be very intentional. Does that support you? Like, do you see what I'm seeing here? It's like, it's not just about grabbing pictures from a magazine and seeing what you find and seeing the closest thing to it, and that's it. It's a matter of looking for material things or pictures, etc., all that really embody you, your energy, what you're claiming, what you're declaring, what you're clear on. So that when you look at it, it connects you. And by default, what happens is that you open up. And energy, your subconscious starts to be like, oh, okay, she's sending me a different message. She's one in love. I guess she's feeling like better with this. Let's start to open up. And then your focus starts to change and you start to attract it. Or you get inspired to take the right actions to align you with love and your ideal love from a place of power. Okay? Now, let's move into the next statement, step that I wanted to mention when it comes to creating dream boards, when it comes to love. You want to really ask yourself, do I believe that this is possible for me? Like, if you put certain things that feel for you, like there's just a lot of resistance within you and you don't feel like they're possible, then, and you find a lot of resistance, then don't, I would find a way for you, like, to maybe, like, if it's a non-negotiable for you, but you don't see it happening right away, or you don't know how it's going to happen and there's a lot of doubt there, but you still want it in your dream board, you can find a small place to add it. Does that make sense? Small space, rather than putting it in a bigger space where you immediately look at it and all these start to flare up and you start blocking the manifestation. Do you see how it's not that dream boards don't work like how people say? It's your own mind blocking it, your own resistance, and your confusion and your doubt about your role and who you should be and how you should show up, etc. with it. Forget all of that. You want to be in your power. You want to be in your power. So if it's non-negotiable for you and it needs to be there, but it creates resistance because you know that you might not have it right away, right? Or you are still working through a lot of the details for it, and it puts you in this kind of like bleh or like negative space, make it a small one and put it around a lot of things that you are very excited about and that may connect you, put you in that sweet spot, put you in that very juicy space. That way your subconscious is going to be more receptive to it. I do this trick whenever I'm like working on my, like, just feeling into my gratitude. And what I do is that I'll write down things like as if I already have them. I'll write, I'm so happy and grateful that I have this right now. And I write certain things that are already true. And then in the middle, I'll add a statement of, I'm so happy and grateful that I have this, or this is happening in my life. It hasn't happened yet. But then I move into other spaces, and I continue writing other things I already have. I might, let's say out of 10 things, I might have 3 that I already have, 2 that I don't have, then I have another 3, and then I add 1 that I don't have. Well, 1 that I don't have, and another one that I do have. Or just added 3 in the middle of all of them that I don't have. What happens is, because it's like in a sandwich, I start to feel the gratitude of all the things that I already do have. I open up. And then because I'm writing it as if I already have it, the universe doesn't, like the subconscious doesn't know the difference between yes or no, like, or what's real or what isn't. You are using really powerful, connecting, manifesting words as gratitude, and I'm so happy and grateful. Then it starts to generate the way for you. Granted, I know many people who've manifested certain things in their life just by being in that space of gratitude and using these things. When it comes to love and everything, what I notice is that the universe opens up the way maybe for healing, opens up the way for you to align yourself more, opens up the way for you to own your worth more. It will seek and it will look for ways for you to align yourself with that vision, because you were open. You are using manifesting words like gratitude. Okay, like, I'm grateful for this. I already have this. And the universe is like, all right, she wants this. Now, how do we match up this energy? Okay, she might need to work on her self-worth. She might need to work on trusting men. She might need to work on loving herself more. She might need to work on feminine and masculine energy dynamics. She might need to work on communication. She might need to own, like she might need to work on owning her worth and claiming top quality love in her life. She might need to do that. How does she get to step up? And then that way, because you are in that space, then it's up to you to do the work to align yourself towards what you want. See, the thing is, you're not just going to do the dream board and then not do anything about it. You want to seek your alignment. And that is not masculine energy. That is actually you choosing to be in your power. Like, I am responsible for this. Me and the universe, we're co-creating this. I'm actually working hand in hand with my subconscious. Or if you're not like that open to like universe sort of thing, working hand in hand with my subconscious to actually go there. I'm not a damsel in distress. I have to be in alignment. I am responsible, because that's why I say that energy of waiting in love life doesn't work. Now, I want to clarify. This is when I say the energy of waiting, like, there's a difference between taking aligned, empowered action to be in alignment from a place of trust in your source, in the universe, and like yourself, and then taking action from a fearful space, a controlling space. I have to control this man to get love. I have to make sure, I have this amount of dates. That's forceful energy. No, you're actually co-creating with the universe. So your main point of attraction is your connection with your source, with the universe, or with God, whoever, what you really believe in, and with yourself. Creating from a space of connection rather than forcing things or controlling out of fear are two opposites. One will bring you pain, and the other one will bring you joy. And this is a really important point. Your pain, your main place, your main point of creation and attraction is connected from a place of like, the universe has my back kind of thing. God loves me. The universe loves me. I love myself. I can trust this planet, like, this is a beautiful planet. I can have love kind of thing, right? And I'm going to love myself enough to align myself with what I want. And I'm willing to take the steps from that space. That is not masculine. Why am I repeating this? Because it is important to really clarify it. Why isn't it masculine? You know, a woman, when she has a baby, she has to take care of her baby. A woman taking care of her baby and nurturing the baby is not masculine. You want to look at it like you're nurturing yourself, you're watering a garden, your plants, etc. You want to care for something with great love, and you take really active steps towards it, correct? So you can't take in this energy of waiting. Yes, you lean back. What leaning back means is, when you're dating and a guy is courting you, is that you're just willing to see who's the best fit for you. And you're in ownership. You're in clarity of how amazing and worthy you are. If there's any sort of emotional release that needs to be done, work that needs to be done, ownership, learning how to like embody positive feminine and masculine dynamics, about owning your power, because in this area of love, yes, we can have like a lot of like strong feelings and emotions that block us, that blocks our momentum, that attracts this sort of, you know, the sort of man that you don't want in your life. Yes, that is possible. Then that's where you work on it consciously, and you're making sure that you're not just talking about it to heal it. You're releasing the energy, you're releasing the emotions, you're working with your subconscious, because when all those channels and all those paths are clear, you are more in your power and you consciously attract what you want, because you see clearly. There's no confusion and there's no pain inside of you. Does that make sense? Hopefully that resonates. So do you see why I am sharing with you that you want to be very clear on the fact that you want to use words. You want to use words of power like gratitude, happiness, I'm open, words, I am. All of that really helps, because you're affirming into your life. You're using a lot of power and getting grounded on your worth and what you're desiring to create for yourself and in your life. And the colors also help, you know, like why my point on this is, I like to connect with different parts of my brain. You know, I like to use audio. I like to read. I know that colors can connect with me emotionally, etc. Like I can even, you know, add a scent to my dream board. Whatever connects me, really connects me and opens me up. That's how I know that I am on the right track. So that I recommend for you to do as well. Now, one of the last points that I wanted to address with you before we actually start to create the dream board is one of the major points, and the main reason why I created this event is, you want to create your dream board from a place of your power. What does that mean? And from a open, truthful, honest yearning of love. You want to make sure that the intention comes from a place of knowing that you're worthy and you're lovable and that you're valuable. The universe, or I'm going to give you a scientific explanation of this as well, is it doesn't respond to ego. Like, how do I say this? I remember the first time my coach told me this, and I was like having a fit internally, because I think I knew that some of the things that I wanted, they were coming from a place of ego. But what I noticed is that if you're coming from a truthful space out of love for yourself, and your desire is pure, it's clean, it's loving towards yourself and towards others, it will start to open up the road for you to get it, and you will have a joyful result from it in your alignment, and also through the action steps that you will be guided to take to get there. What happens when you come at your dream board, and this is what I want to invite you to be very conscious of. What happens when you come in your dream board with, let me put this picture of my ideal man or relationship, because then I'll be worthy. You're not going to get it. Or if you attract a man, you might lose it. And then you might wonder, why did the universe betray me that way? Why is it that it's not working? The reason for that is because one of the best phrases that I've ever heard from Michael Bernard Beckwith, which I love, he explains that consciousness precedes form. So if your consciousness is coming from a consciousness of unconsciously, I am not enough, I'm not good enough, or some sort of lack in your life, and something on the external will make me worthy, something on the external will make me more valuable, you will manifest what's in like the consciousness. Okay. So because the consciousness started from a place of I am not enough, I am, or lack, you tend to attract whatever makes you feel that lack on the outside. Does that make sense? So if you are adding a picture of a man that is the right fit for you, that is like your ideal top quality, like man relationship that you want, and you add there, like you add him and you're like, yeah, I deserve that, from a place of true love for yourself, then your alignment will start to happen. And then through your action steps and what you're being guided to heal, to move forward with, and to claim and to declare and to learn in your life, you will have that in your life. You will meet that man because your intentions, were pure. They are pure. They're coming at a place of love and not from a place of filling up something that your ego might want. Okay? The ego, in many ways, because it's fearful, it lives in scarcity. Therefore, it's in lack all the time. So I know a lot of women who put a picture of a man, or maybe might put pictures of rings, and they put the rings thinking like, if I have this sort of ring, then I'll be worthy. It's not about the ring. It's not about your social status of how you're going to look like once you have your man in your picture to other ones. I'm giving you examples of things that come from a place of ego. Then it doesn't happen. Do you see this? Do you see what I'm trying to share with you here right now? If you're looking to add things on your dream board from a place of, if I have this ring, if I have this house, if I have this dress, if I have this body, then I'll be worthy. It doesn't come to pass. Why? Because you're not operating from your power. You're not. You're operating from a place of inner child, right? Of wound, of needing validation, or I'm going to validate myself. I'm going to have this body, but it's not coming from a place out of love. So let's say you are going to add on your dream board that you wanted to lose weight out of love for yourself. That's awesome. You will be in alignment with that. You will figure it out. If you're actually, thinking like, if I lose these pounds, then I'll, men are going to think that I'm hot, or you're looking for losing the pounds to dictate that you're hot, and then you lose the pounds, right? And then you notice that certain guys don't notice you, and you're like, but what happened? And then you start to feel not good enough again. That's what happened. The consciousness preceded form. You attracted what was on the inside. So you want to not create a dream board to create outside validation, or to put things in your dream board to get outside validation. That's one of the fastest ways in which you don't manifest what you're looking for, or the universe will show you what you are believing, right? And it will look like relationships not working out, you feeling pain, not feeling worthy, not feeling like you're being listened to in your relationships, etc. Because the come from was from a place of I am not enough. Therefore, you manifest that reflected in millions of different ways. The universe does this to punish you at all. It's just showing you you're a powerful woman. You're a powerful being. Whatever you put out is what you attract. And that is what shows you that the universe is loving. Because if you put positive things of love for yourself, you will let yourself get in that space of alignment. Is this helping anyone today? Would you like to share, like, immediate yourself? Like, let me know, please, if this is making, like, adding value for you.
I think it's been really helpful. I mean, you said things that, that really, like, I mean, you can just create a dream board, but the reality is if you're not coming at it with the proper consciousness or feeling, that you're just not going to get it. It doesn't matter what you do. So I think that's great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Who else would like to share? Would anybody else like to share? I want to make sure that you understand this piece clearly, because it's of the greatest value. I know it can be a touchy feeling, like a touchy topic, because I mean, one of my first dream boards when I first started, it was like, it had ego in it, you know, like, oh, if I have this, then I'm going to look this way. Didn't happen. It wasn't until I started to create dream boards from a place of my heart and being connected, like I shared with you, that I actually started to get results. And not just the dream board, but then through my honest willingness to love myself enough to let myself have what I wanted. Right? Or, yeah, it all comes from an energy of love. So I invite you that your dream boards actually come from a place of love for yourself right now. And if understand the connection needed, awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear you say that, Danny. Like, what is it that you realize? Like, would you like to share with us? Because I feel like it could be valuable for the audience, and I would love to hear it. Like, I feel like it would support me too. So let me remember what I was going to say. So I do want to clarify this. The universe will open up the way for you to align yourself. You don't want to wait. For many of you, it will look like you doing a coaching program, or working with a coach, or doing therapy, or doing healing sessions, reading books about this, implementing it, like being willing. But you gotta end the energy of waiting, because it's unconscious. You might read the book and then you're waiting to see something happen in your reality, so then that shows you that you're safe enough to do it. You have to declare that you're safe enough to move forward. Before it, you don't want to be in an energy of waiting. So you have to be in your power, make choices, and be like, if it's not, like, I will not let anything get in the way of the sort of love that I want in my life. I love myself enough to seek that alignment, to do whatever it takes, because I love myself. And I am worthy of my transformation, and I am worthy of the best love out there. I am worthy. I get to say that. That's not ego. That's genuine love for yourself. Does that make sense? Does that resonate, ladies? So it's up to you, really. You know, once I create a dream board, I create it and I make it really pretty and really connecting. And then, you know, I make it that it's very grounded and tangible and pretty in my own life. You know, I'll have pictures of it on my phone. I'll have it with me, and then I'll connect with it every single day. And I let it move me. The moment that I stop connecting with it, I'm like, okay, what happened? Is it a limiting belief? Is it a thought that's making me feel nothing over this right now? What is happening? Or is it, and if it's a limiting belief or something, how do I clear this? How do I release this? How do I move myself through this? What do I need to do? And whatever the answer is, then I do it. This is the spirit. This is the energy. And many times, if you disconnected from something and you're not feeling anything towards it, it's because there's an inner conversation, not just an inner conversation in many cases, but maybe like an emotional reaction or defense mechanism, something that popped up because you are connecting so much with it that what happened was that you reached to your subconscious, and your subconscious was like, but no, you told me you don't want this. And you might hit a wall with your subconscious, and you need to figure out how to, and it might look like a belief, of resistance to it. And I want to look at your dream board, etc., or at that picture, or it might look like confusion. I used to attract a lot of clients who felt confused all the time. Confusion is a defense mechanism out of knowing your power and owning your worth. And what happens is that you don't want to just stay in confusion. Remember, all that it's robbing you from is time. And your time is precious if you want to manifest love, if you want to have your family, etc. So I want to be the one who tells you this, because you don't want to stay in confusion. And you got to do whatever it takes. I offer sessions where we go into your, I help you release beliefs from your subconscious, emotional releases, etc., so that you're open, you're believing, you're clear, you're aligned, and you let yourself have what you want. You're not resisting it, you're not stopping it. Because your affirmations, whether unconscious, defense mechanisms or not, are what's creating your life. That is why you might be going out there. And I invite you to do this inner work first, because you might think, oh, I'm not connecting with this anymore. You know what? I have to go on more dates. But no, but then nothing is clicking. It's because something on the inside, the inner work, needs to shift. A subconscious belief, an emotional response in your body about something, an idea, memories, etc., that are holding you back, that are stopping your energy. And when you say it's not working, you've let your subconscious win. You've let your subconscious change your reality. So I want to empower you to know that you can actually change things around. That tools are available for you, that services are available for you, that books are available for you, that coaching services, everything. Whatever you want, you can claim it because you're worthy of it. And if your mind hasn't led you to think about yourself this way, I invite you to start thinking about yourself this way, because you're worthy. You're the prize, full on. We're all love. And if you're not shining, if you're not letting yourself have the greatest love, then what are we doing? How can you connect with that? How can you make a conscious choice to let yourself have that? Don't let your ego or your fear take you out of the game. So let's see. Sometimes Danny's sharing, sometimes I was really eager to have something, but sometimes it was created so fast that at the time I was so confident and I just knew it would happen. But sometimes I know I deserve something in my deep inside, but all of a sudden some things block me, then it won't happen, which I want. Exactly. So I hope that the questions that I asked just now really help you. It's up to you. You just can't stay in an energy of waiting. Like, I don't know why I feel this way kind of thing. And then you stay like that and not move forward. It's up to you. And that is when you find your true power. That is when you can actually take action. There's nothing more joyous than actually working on yourself, to letting yourself have what you want, because you're not just doing it from a place of, this is not masculine energy. This is just radical love for yourself. And in your proactiveness to be able to be a greater container for love for yourself and for everyone, that is love. That is feminine energy. Feminine energy knows she's the prize. Full stop. So working on that, the most important thing. Loving yourself, putting yourself number one, the most important thing. So that you know your worth, you know your value. So let's see. Carmen is asking, what do I do when I'm seeking outside validations as I am in the process? You got to go inward. So what I would recommend for you, Carmen, and thank you so much for bringing this up, is for anybody who feels this way, I recommend that, for example, what I love about creating it on Pages or on Word is that I can have, like, I just use a landscape version of the page that is provided, right? And then I have different pages. So thank you so much for bringing that up. That is a brilliant question. Thank you. I set things up with themes, you know, like an area of my health, my business, you know, my transformational love coaching business, where I wanted to see it going, my love life, because you want to like grow things, right? Like you want to really make things grow. You know, my health, my well-being, and then might have, I don't do like 7 of them, guys. Like I just want to say this. I do like probably like the most I've done are like 4. There might be certain things like the pictures, they have main themes, but it can have pictures of different things on it, but they're not the top priority, because it, like I said, it all helps my subconscious be more relaxed and opening up and seeing it as I already have this, rather than finding it. So I sometimes mix things up a little bit. But what I would recommend for your case, Carmen, is to actually have one on self-worth, self-love. You know, I am worthy. I am the prize. I am a queen. I am the queen. Like, you know, I love me. Like, I'm going to love me. And Carmen, because you are in awareness, and this is for everybody, that you might be trying to seek validation on the outside, or you might be aware that you need to work on self-love or self-worth, or, you know, having a self-worth that is magnetic, that is open, that is attractive, rather than repelling or that pushes away the masculine, because that happens. Then you want to create a dream board on your self-worth, or at least have one of the pages be about self-worth. And like I said, because you're so willing to love yourself and you understand the gap, the universe will open up the way for you to align yourself and learn how to love yourself more. But this is the thing, you don't want to wait for things to happen. Like, there's so much available for you that can really help you, like coaching services. I have the program that sponsors this training today is my Top Quality Love and my Magnetic Self-Worth program. And those are 2 different programs that are sponsoring this. And, you know, you have the material. You just have to say yes to you, to let yourself have it and take yourself on, right? And because then you're following the vision, you're connecting and you're noticing the gap, and out of love for yourself, you will not tolerate a non-loving thought about yourself or about your love life in your mind. You're willing to take action. You see yourself worthy of that action and of that choice, investment, etc. What happens is that your energy becomes so magnetic along the way, because your actions are reflecting of a woman who really loves herself, sees herself as worthy, and you're saying yes to a bigger life. Wow, that carries a lot of energy, And it's conscious energy, it's proactive energy, it's consistent energy. All of that adds momentum to your vision, right? Because you're a woman with a mission, right? You are on a mission to love yourself, to see yourself as fully worthy, or to let yourself have the best, and you will not let anybody tell you that you should settle or that you're asking for too much. You're willing to go there because you're a trailblazer, right? Out of love for yourself. Women, we are that fierce, right? When it comes to kids, when it comes to many different things, we are that fierce. So why not be that for ourselves? And that's what we stand for. We are nurturing, we are protection, and we are also very fierce. So we get to really create that energy, and out of self-worth and those movements and those actions that you're taking, and you're saying yes to working on yourself. You're saying yes You're adding so much energy. And then what happens is the universe will bring it to you. You will be in alignment. Your subconscious will give it to you because you are proving to your subconscious that you're showing up as the amazing woman that you are, that's fully capable, that's fully in her power, that is not afraid. Therefore, your subconscious doesn't have to protect you anymore. And you're telling, hey, this is safe. This is my new reality. This is my new queendom, my new kingdom, like what I am choosing to create. And then you are in the top seat. You're in the back seat controlling things rather than letting your fear rule you. Does that support you, Carmen?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. Awesome. You're in the right track, love. So let's see. So Danny's saying, how can I reduce or mute my negative blocking fear voice? It makes me hesitate to want something or get something. So, wow, that's really powerful, Danny, because basically what your ego, your mind, fear voice is doing is it's that it's stopping you or it makes you hesitate to want something or get something. So this is exactly what I mean. And thank you for bringing this up. It's stopping you and makes you hesitate because it's not making you trust yourself fully. You got to be brave enough to face that. You can hire a coach because coaches do help you get from point A to point B. And there's many times fear attached to that, right? You want to hire a coach that helps you with that exact of work. I do that type of work, so you can actually reach out to me if you're interested. Because there's many different types of coaching. So you want to know which one is the right fit for you. There's coaches that will help you get even face your fears, etc. There's coaches that are only going to help you with feminine communication, all of that, or dating apps, etc. You want to be able to have support. So what the coach will give you also is support so that you feel safe in actually letting it go and you're open to receive new information. And you're no longer afraid of it. If your ego sees that you're afraid of it, of course it's going to reign, right? It's going to be in control because it's not seeing you as fully fit or ready. So my first invitation for you, Danny, is to not let your subconscious make you hesitate from wanting something. You got to be like, hey, I can do this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to look out how I can actually release my fears, etc. I'm going to go there. So you're asking, how can you reduce your negative voice, blocking fear voice? Depends on what it's saying, but I have tools and techniques that help you release those things from your subconscious, from your reaction in your body, so that you feel more calm, you feel more open, you feel connected, you feel clear in your power, and you move forward. And what happens is that your energy, you will start using it in favor of what you want rather than trying to stop yourself or in fear. Does that make sense? You will have so much space free that you can use to just joyfully create what you want. So Kristen is saying, I have the same problem with negative voice, and it's been apparent doubt in my partner's love for me. I have noticed it in my past relationship, and when it came up in my current, I felt it came from within. I have the same problem with a negative voice, and it's apparent doubt in my partners. So why do you doubt? Why do you doubt? Yeah. So now that you're noticing, Kristen, that it's coming from you, then you get to empower yourself. Does that make sense? I actually, ladies, I was not thinking about this, but I do have a program that's starting tomorrow on releasing those negative voices so that it stops getting in the way. So ladies, please reach out to me. Reach out to me I'll give you, and we can talk for a couple minutes to figure out if it's the right fit for you. That is my email. And we can set that up because it's showing up for some reason today. And we should totally talk about it. You want to be empowered about this because I know what it is to feel trapped by fear. One of the first things that I had to start saying myself was I'm safe. you know, like I'm safe. But then I had to really release it because these were fears that were coming within me. And how many of you have had experiences that you might be dating somebody and you're like, oh, this person doesn't love me, or this person is like is not the right fit for me, etc. But then you're actually looking and processing things through your wound and you're not seeing things clearly. So that's why you want to be able to release things so that you can be in alignment. Now, ladies, how is this training helping you so far? Are you connecting with it? Wish we could have thumbs up here. I would love to know.
I think it's been awesome. I think it was so inspiring, and like you're saying, things that, you know, that don't come, they're not really intuitive to a lot of people, especially in today's society, where as women we're told to be more in our masculine constantly. And I think at the end of the day, that doesn't ultimately get us what we want. So
That's powerful.
right.
I love that, because you know what? It is about partnership. You know, you might find videos of me earlier talking about like masculine and feminine, but you know, I've been very much connected with, you know, a woman doesn't need to be in her masculine to achieve anything. You know, like I have the universe for that. Does that make sense? Because the feminine energy is an embodiment of support. You know, like it's not seeking to do things by itself. When a woman tries to do a thing by herself all of the time, like, and she doesn't stop that way, she ends up feeling depleted because it's not in her essence. The feminine, it is about support, feeling safe, feeling supported. So I know that when I connect with a vision and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, I'm in partnership with the universe. So my match, the masculine side of things, will meet me. It will meet me. I don't have to be something that I'm not. Hopefully this makes sense, because most of the women that I talk to, they, you know, you can be very empowered, but then what you're working with me is to how to actually start trusting the masculine, and how to not show up masculine in your relationship, and how once you change that, the man shows up in a different way. Why? Because you actually open up to partnership. I'm so happy to hear, Carla, that she's saying thank you so much for all of this information. It's very clear. That's amazing. So you don't have to be something that you're not. What you want to do is start practicing partnership. And imagine this, because when you are in relationship and the masculine says, you know, like, hey, baby, I got your back. Like, we just need to do this. Can you please just do this for me? This step and step and step. Are you open to follow the lead? The universe is telling you, we need you to release this belief, love. The only reason why you're attracting emotionally unavailable men, or make you feel anxious and then make you worry that you're good enough or not, or that they love you or not, is because you need to release this. Can you please release this so that we can actually do the job and bring you and align you with a man that is right fit for you? Can you do that? Of course I'm going to do it. I love myself. I'm going to do it, right? Because you're in partnership. You're not operating from a place of being in a fear mode or breakdown where you're like, I don't trust the universe. I don't know if this is going to work, etc. It's an illusion. You want to work in partnership with the universe. You want to know that the universe has your back, and the steps that you need to take, you take them out of love for yourself, just like you would do it for your kids. You're very clear. So Danny's saying, I'm so happy and glad I joined this meeting. So happy because I live in Korea and I didn't know I could join today. Oh my God, Danny, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have give up because the time was okay. That's awesome. That's so awesome. In the process of envisioning the vision board, I'm unconscious seeing the guy I'm dating. Is that an issue? Can you clarify, Carmen? Can you clarify? So ladies, I would like to open up this space today for Q&A. Like, I'm looking at the time, we went overboard with the time. And I would like to open up this space for Q&A, and I would like to do a follow-up, a follow-up where we are actually creating our dream boards together. Is that fun? I'm all for fun right now and to support you. So let me know if you're interested in that. I would like to open up the space for Q&A, and also to share with you the program that I mentioned to you earlier about. I have 2 programs right now, my 2 signature programs that are Top Quality Love and Magnetic Self-Worth. I would like to share them with you because I understand that when a woman owns her power and she understands the clear path to attracting not just any sort of love, but the love that is the love that she wants, top quality, right? When she's in that space, she's very magnetic, she's very clear, she's unshakable, and she attracts it. So from that space, what we need to look at, what are the specific belief systems, typically around feminine and masculine energy dynamics. A lot of women who've created a lot of things with masculine energy, etc., they tend to believe that they cannot be themselves, right? Or that they won't be accepted. And because from that emotional wound or belief, they block that energy from coming in. True acceptance from a man that really sees them, that nurtures them, that cares for them, that actually protects them, that cares for them. They don't let that into their reality. And it looks like them attracting men that they doubt love them. It looks like them attracting men that they doubt that love them. It makes them feel like they can't be fully happy. So we want to actually release those beliefs from your life, from your being, from your subconscious. We want to look at what exactly those are and then work on healing them and how to create positive feminine and masculine energy dynamics within your relationship. Okay? Or with the men that you attract, and how to be in your feminine in such a powerful way, magnetic way, that you attract the sort of men that are the right fit for you, men that you can trust, that you're open to be with. We go from releasing any places where you might believe I'm not going to be loved, I'm not going to be supported, or this is kind of difficult, or the men in my city are showing up as jerks, etc., whatever you want to call it, or disconnected. We want to help you release that so that you are very clear and grounded in your being feminine in a powerful way, in a connecting way, not in a repelling way, and how to connect with the masculine in such a way that you attract that positive, powerful masculine in your life. You feel loved, you feel seen for who you are, and from that space, you grow together. And the training also goes over how to grow that relationship. So that's, wow, for real? I mean, Danny's saying that's exactly what she's going through. Awesome, Danny. So I really do recommend Top Quality Love for you. Please sign up for, I have a call where we can explore if it's the right fit for you. And then we can connect to see if the right fit. I recommend this training for everybody because it's we're not about settling. We're not about that life. And we really want to, if you want to change things in your life, you want to prepare, you want to move forward, you want to see what you can change, you want to see what is possible and what is available for you, based on your energy, based on your choice, based on what you really want out of love for yourself. I really recommend this. This training is starting next week at the end of the week, the first weekend of February, and I'm closing the doors to it on Tuesday. So if you want to talk with me about it, I would love to have you in the program. We can explore if it's the right fit for you. Please look at the link that I set up just now that I sent over the chat box if you're interested. Because it's the best out there. We want to really take responsibility for ourselves, and not let it be something that is airy-fairy kind of thing. You want to be grounded. You want to choose what you want to have, and you want to let yourself have it so you can really see your power in your love life. Like I said, it's just that the area of love comes with more energy and more emotions, etc., that can make you feel confused. And I think that's part of the programming that as a society we've been sold. But you can actually change that now. Okay, the emotionality is there, the emotional reaction, the fears, it clouds your judgment, etc. It makes you forget your love for yourself. It makes you think that you need to seek validation. All that is there. Okay, but then what are you going to do about it? Right? For me, I used to think, wow, like it really sucks that I have like that, nobody taught me this. But then it was like, Nicole, are you going to complain? Or are you actually going to take action? Right? Because I get to be trustworthy to myself. I get to be trustworthy to my inner child. It's like my inner child is staring at me and I'm showing up in fear, then she can't trust me. She takes over. And that's why, I would sabotage anything that I had in front of me. Okay. So if you value your time, you understand that your time is precious. You want love. You want it now. And you're willing to be the woman that lets herself have that top quality love, then I invite you to set up the assessment with me. And if you don't see times available that work for you, just send me an email. Like I said, at Nicole@NicoleElissa.com, and I would love to help you. It's an amazing training. We go over everything that we just explained. You have several calls that are full of Q&A for us to spend time together. You have private sessions with me. You have a private Facebook group, etc., where you can actually feel the support. You can feel safe, and you have all the modules that are ready and a right fit for you. So I'm excited to support you. Who's excited about that? No worries, Danny. Like, yeah, I got your back. We can talk. We can totally talk. I'm so happy and grateful that you're here, actually. You see? Like, it's my subconscious just went there and said, I'm so happy and grateful that you're here, which is the truth. I just wanted to say that I'm so happy and grateful because it's like in my subconscious, it's embedded, right? So I'm so excited about this too, Carmen. Like, everybody here deserves it. And my invitation for you, awesome, Danny. Thank you so much. Is that let's do this. Like, you see yourself as worthy. You see yourself as deserving. You declare it. You're not waiting for something to prove it to you. You've got to start taking actions from a place of power. Like I said, a woman's power is in her femininity. It's her way of being. It comes with action. You're not trying to force. You come from a collaborative space with the universe. You are co-creating. It's a joyous creation, and you're letting yourself have what you want. Okay? Right? Because you're worthy. That's the main point of the feminine. You're worthy just as you are, so you're willing to do whatever it takes to bridge that gap. Okay? Not controlling. Fierce love for yourself. All right? Not masculine. Fierce love for yourself. And from that space of openness, connecting with your dream board, what you created, and because you're so excited and so happy that you're doing something out of love for yourself and you're committed, you're not looking back, it will happen. But you need to find what is it in your alignment. The emotional release is what I see most people like needing help with. The subconscious release, like letting go, letting themselves connecting with their feminine, understanding and being actually truly open for a masculine man in their life, and leading life from that space of power and femininity and connection. So that's what the top quality love training is going to give to you. We have the emotional release. We have the subconscious release. We have all about the feminine embodiment of letting yourself have love. And we have how to attract the powerful masculine man, how to connect with it, and how to grow and build that, right? Powerful way of being once again. Ladies, so that's the link. I'm going to share it once again. For those of you who want to take your time and connect with me, the doors are closing on this Tuesday. So you will see times available to connect with me tomorrow on the tool. And then I would like for right now to, ask you if you have any sort of questions.
Yeah, Nicole, I was just wondering, are you going to be making this recording available so we can look at it again, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect.
So just sorry, Nicole. Just a quick question. I know I had that question, like when I'm doing when I'm envisioning. I'm sorry, I was in a very noisy place. I could not put you back on, but I'm finally free. As I'm doing the vision board and I'm looking at marriages and whatnot, I mean, I'm envisioning me getting married and everything that comes that I desire. It just brings him up into my mind, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I really like the guy, but I don't know if he's the one. Based on our conversations we had in the past. So what do I do when he comes to mind?
Connect with yourself. So you are your greatest love, number one, right? So what I love to do, I have a picture of baby Nicole, right, with me all of the time. So that really connects me because it's like, it's whatever is it that I want, I say my intention is to give this to you. So I'm not putting the guy up front, like, well, in your case, what I'm saying, like, I'm not putting, how do I say? Let's say that what I wanted was, let's say that I was looking for a job, okay? And I have like a specific position at a specific company in the dream board, okay? I'm not focused on, like, it needs to be this thing and it needs to be now and this way. I'm like, no, what would make me the happiest? Like, I'm open for a job that has all of these qualities that makes me feel this and this and this way. Like, I'm connecting it with me, my needs, my wants. And then I'm open for how the universe brings that to me because I'm in a place of trust. So what I invite you to do, Carmen, is to let go, to not be attached that it's him. Because when you start to attach it, you start contracting the energy. And what that is it comes from fear in many cases. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
I didn't know it come from fear. What does it come from fear? I guess for it to resonate. How does that, like?
I said in many cases. So
Is it?
In one thing that I actually do see is that you want to be so connected with your love for yourself that you're actually okay if this man leaves your life. It sounds weird, but your main connection is with the universe, right? So you're open for the best. So I invite you to, whenever you look at the picture, you can think about him, but then just connect with the energy that he gives you, right? Like so far in this moment, but it's not necessarily him. And then you open up even more and more and more and more. And this is what I want, and this is the right fit. And then let him show up and see if it's him or not.
Yeah.
But then your main connection, like
I still have to work on that because I still have to work on that because I mean, when I envision it, even as we speak right now, I mean, he pops up into my mind, and I have to somehow and honestly, it just came unconsciously, and I started noticing. I'm like, well, why? I don't know if he's the one. Why is he coming towards me and as I'm envisioning this? And so I questioned it from pretty much after a couple of days. I was like, wait a second, this doesn't seem right to me.
Are you two officially dating?
I mean, we're seeing each other. We've known each other for a couple months now. So why is it that that's strong? I mean, I like him. I mean, there's no doubt on that. I'm not gonna deny that. I really like him, but I don't know how he feels about me.
Okay. So that's what I mean in regards to just making this about you and your wants and the clarity. Having clarity about what you want, what feels good to you. Keep exploring that. You got to choose yourself first.
You gotta go that resonates better with me. What feels good with me? I like that. I think I can change it. I can start working on that.
Yeah, because it's like you want to choose yourself first, right? You wanna you wanna be clear that you got to choose yourself first over any man.
Yeah.
Because you want to have your self-love very clear. Like, you got to own that you're the prize. if a man cannot, I'm not saying this is you, Carmen, I'm just giving an example for everybody. If a man cannot see it, then ask yourself, am I seeing it? Right? And if you are, then you create the space for the man that does see it, right? So you gotta be open. You gotta keep your energy open, right? Many women, sometimes as women, we can choose a man before he chooses us. And we gotta really look at that, because he's gotta fully see you as a prize. This is where leaning back comes in. So for you, Carmen, this is a good energy of like leaning back and just seeing, observe with no judgment. And as you're doing your dream board and you're looking at your dream board and you're connecting with it, you're very clear about what you want, like specifics about what you want and how you desire to feel.
Okay. It does. That definitely resonates with me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, ladies, does anybody else have a question before we go? I would love to support you if you have any sort of additional questions. It's so. Does Kristen, Carla, like Wendy? Do you have any questions?
I was just curious about what you just said to her, about how the fact that you have to, like, when it comes to receiving, wait for other people to choose you instead of you choosing them first. Like you have to. I just wanted to, could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, can you give me a more, like, do you have a specific situation in mind? So
no, I think just in general, because I think sometimes, like, even it could be with respect to anybody, like it could be business, friendship, or in love. Like a lot of times, sometimes we can tend to choose, we tend to want to believe somebody is a certain way or that they're going to help us achieve whatever goal it is. But the reality is you know, we end up like you said, that we end up being in the masculine because we end up like kind of setting off a kind of a chasing kind of energy versus you know, knowing that we're like powerful and worthy and amazing, that, you know, waiting for the universe to bring it to us, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's really powerful. So what's coming up for me with that is, during this training, I've mentioned two main things that, well, I've mentioned a lot, but two things that I mentioned that are very key is, first, your connection with your source, the universe, right? Life, Mother Earth, whoever you want to call it, God, or your, and your connection with yourself, right? Like so connected out with your love for yourself, and so connected with the fact that the universe loves you. Like it's a connection of love, right? So, and why is it you want to seek that connection first at all times? You want, in this case, it's like you're talking to the universe, you're declaring and you're saying, hey, I want this. You know which one is the best fit for me. I'm not going to try to think that I like that if I'm noticing that I'm controlling, that I'm going to get it. If I notice that, I'm going to first focus on the universe. I'm going to trust, innate trust in life, innate trust in myself, right, to know what is the right fit for me. And how am I going to know? By how I feel. How are they treating me? Is this the right thing, right? So you want to strengthen your connection with your source and with yourself so that you can actually know, be in a space of trust. If you know that you have a tendency to want to control things or to be like abrasive or anything like that, that's why I said at the beginning, like, I'm not going to try to like do this. This is what I mean is, you're declaring your request to the universe, and if you know that there is a gap, in this case being abrasive, like going on into it in a masculine energy, then you get to do the work that will like help you release that, like through the clearing work, the emotional release, subconscious things, working more on your self-trust, or trusting that the universe loves you and owning your worth. Whatever the work might be, you are the one that gets to close that gap. And from that space of openness, because you're doing it for yourself, the right fit is going to come along. What happens is that when women feel like they're not fully safe, or that the universe doesn't love them fully. They go into a space of controlling, like they need something to be exactly what they like need to see it as, to then feel safe. And then once again going back to needing something on the outside to validate a point of view. But it's not the thing on the outside that's going to give you safety. Is your understanding of your relationship with the universe, and out of love for yourself, that you are loved, that makes you relax, that makes you let go, and trust more than anything. And then you let the right fit come to you, rather than the need to control or to be like in a masculine state to get things. Many women that I know that are in a masculine space, they are there because they felt abandoned or betrayed, or that they couldn't trust like their parents or something to that effect. And they went into this defense mechanism where they became more like masculine, but they felt like the universe didn't provide or support them fully, at least in one area of their life. And they don't know that they're carrying this subtle masculine energy and the remainings of it in their love life. And they attract what they don't want, or they might need to control. Like I used to be very into, I liked a guy for 10 years and he never liked me back, and I just couldn't learn how to let go. Does that make sense? And it was me, like, it was like my mind, it's like, oh, but it must be him. It must be him. That's not what, that's honestly not, it didn't even happen, because I was not trusting my source. So I want to learn how to trust my source more, rather than feeling like it needs to be a specific person. So when you're connected, you understand that the universe is, the universe is what it's providing for you. Therefore, you can like relax and do whatever it is that you need to do to be in that alignment, and not believe necessarily that it needs to be this person, or it's like do or die kind of thing. Like you are seeking your alignment. So when you do the self-love work, you do the self-worth work, you're doing the emotional release, you're doing the inner work, you are trusting that the universe will provide for you. And why do you do that? Like I said, you're adding all of this energy, the universe sees that you're serious about this, and then it will show you maybe a belief. It might look like you thinking that you need to control, or you need to show this man how much you love him, or like for him to love you back, and you're in this space. All that is fear. You need to be conscious enough to realize what's happening, because the universe is saying, hey, sweetie, like you want this. This is what you're doing. You're operating in fear. We need you to stop doing that. We need you to work on yourself. We need you to release this, because your energy is not letting us bring to you what you want, because you are operating from a place of fear. So the universe is communicating with you. And that's why I said during the training that it will give you the right steps for you to seek your alignment. And then it's up to you to show up. And you have a choice. You can either choose to do the same thing you've always done, or you can love yourself enough to be able to let go of those tendencies, to do the proper work, to learn how to trust the universe more. These are the things that you really need to do. Trust the universe more, love yourself more, embody more of that magnetic self-worth. Really and truly like own your feminine energy, be in that space of ownership, empower, learn the feminine dynamics, learn trust inside of relationships, how to create more of that balance. Those are the things that you want to look at and know that you can attract everything that you want. Most people misunderstand the guidance that the universe gives to them. Why? Because they were like, hey, but I did this dream board and I'm manifesting another emotionally unavailable man. This doesn't work. No. The universe is like, okay, we see that you are asking us something. Your subconscious is like, you say, you're telling me that you want something new right now, but you told me that men were unavailable. So it will bring you what you believe, and then you have to be powerful and claim for yourself, I see, I need to work on this belief. I need to release everything that's creating this in my life. When you take that proactive action and you seek because you're committed, you're all in, and you let yourself have that, that's when it aligns itself. Does that make sense? So you're not attached to it being one guy in particular. You're not attached to it being You're not attached to it happening this week. What I can promise you is that if you put momentum, consistent energy, and you're committed, you're all, and you don't throw in the towel, and you do the work that you really need to do, which is more of an inner work at first, then you will meet your man. Like, it's just life, it's truth, it's law, because your energy and your momentum and your willingness to love yourself enough to have it is everything. And because you're saying yes to that bigger life, you're saying yes to a bigger you, you will get it. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. I know, like, I explained a lot there, but I wanted to make sure that it resonated. Like,
Yes, I appreciate it, because I think that at certain points, like certain things kind of your brain or your subconscious takes in, and and then you kind of let it go, and then when you repeat yourself, believe me, it just affirms it, and it gives you that the affirmation that we need to continue to process that. Like, I thought, like, I love myself, and I'm like, wait a second, did I forget to tell myself that I love myself? Well, now I do that throughout the day. I'm like, I love you, in case I haven't told you, because you think you love yourself, but then maybe I don't know, somewhere out there, I guess I didn't tell myself I love myself enough. So, and then so believe me,
that's awesome. That's really
continue
awesome.
to say I don't mind. It just reaffirms to me, and it resonates with me to keep on, processing that information.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that, Carmen. So, ladies, this has been an absolute pleasure. I will be sharing the replay with you. I just need to figure out how I'm going to upload all of it, and be checking, like, check your emails for that. I recommend for you to. I definitely invite you to join Top Quality Love, because we will go over the exact steps that actually will make a difference for you in your love life. Will help you own your power and consciously attract the right fit of a man and relationship for you. We will do all of that. The inner work, the release work, the embodiment work of being in your feminine truly, and owning your power and being magnetic, an attraction that is magnetic and not repelling, and how to grow that love. I'll really show you how to attract a top quality love and man in your life. Now, if you want to know more about it, if you want to talk about it, if you want to explore if it's the right fit for you, then definitely use the link that I set up here. It's nicole.as.me. You can see it / manifest up quality love assessment. And I would love to connect with you further. Let me know how this training added value for you, and I'm excited to connect with you and connect with those who are actually choosing to do the training next week. Now, ladies, if before we go, does anybody want to share what was the biggest piece of value that you got from this call? What are you taking with you?
I would say that I'm learning how powerful we are as women. And even though I always felt, I guess, powerful, but never did I feel as powerful as I do now. And that what I think, how my subconscious think, how much power it has in the universe. And I'm like, oh, I haven't been using it accordingly then. And now I watch myself, what I think and what I say, because I, what I put out and what I put in is I guess it has so much power that I didn't realize before.
Yeah.
I didn't give it credit where it should have been given, duly noted now.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was really powerful, because I thought, I realized that, like, we don't have to compromise on anything. Like, we just have to, like you said, just focus on ourselves, and we don't have to take like the kind of action that we maybe typically would do to achieve something. That it's more like the inner work, and once we do that and make sure and we're really clear that we're worthy and that we're ready for it, then, and we've done the work to show that we're ready, then things will just naturally happen.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful. There's so much of a big difference of taking aligned action than actually trying to just take action. Aligned action comes from doing the inner work, seeking that alignment, and things like flow, like they come with a different energy. You are unattached in many things, and you're also very clear, and therefore you let yourself have exactly what you want, versus than just taking action like, oh, I have to push through, I have to do this. You will do whatever it is that you need to do. You know, like sometimes, you know, birth can sometimes not be comfortable, right? But you do it out of love, okay? And that is the main thing. So when you're connected and you're clear, you're super powerful, and your actions, they will show and you will get results. Ladies, it has been a pleasure. I'm so happy to hear that, Carla. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm looking forward to connect with you soon. Would anybody else like to share? Or not, I'll stop the recording now.